tariffs were supposed to make Americans really rich. According to Donald Trump, they're supposed to bring hundreds of billions of dollars.
Think of that, $2 billion a day. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money even in the coal business, isn't it? Huh? It's a lot of money. And America's going to be very rich again very soon. You're going to...
Either that money would be used to pay the national debt or would go as paychecks to the average Americans. But the Federal Reserve just released a study that the vast majority of tariffs are being paid by the average Americans. So Donald Trump instantly attacked the paper, and his top advisor, Kevin Hassett, even called the paper as the worst paper in the history of the Federal Reserve. And Kevin Hassett was one of the people that people speculated that is going to be the next chairman of the Fed. But then Donald Trump decided that he's going to pick Kevin Warsh. And I think Kevin Warsh is a lot better than Kevin Hassett. But Kevin Hassett went on CNBC and he claimed that this paper is the worst paper because they did not take into account everything. They simply jumped into conclusions without taking the context into consideration.
I think the worst paper I've ever seen in the history of the Federal Reserve System. The people associated with this paper should presumably be disciplined because what they've done is they've put out a conclusion which has created a lot of news that's highly partisan based on analysis that wouldn't be accepted in a first semester econ class.
So according to Kevin Hassett, tariffs, yes, they did increase prices, but because they forced so many businesses to come back to the United States, wages have increased more than prices, so the average American was the winner from the tariffs. But it's still shocking that most people don't understand who exactly pays the tariff. Now, a tariff is a tax that is paid to the government when you bring something from outside the United States. So if you want to sell it in the US, you have to bring it to the United States. So you pay that tariff at the border. So whoever brings it is going to pay the tariff. And most of the imports to the United States, yes, they could be coming from China, but that is imported by an American business. So take an example of an American company that sells furniture in the United States. They might just purchase those furnitures from China, pay the tariffs at the border, and then sell it in the United States. So these are primarily American companies that are paying the tariffs. And according to the study, 94% of all the tariffs have been paid by the American citizens and just 6% were paid by foreign exporters. And that is actually true because tariffs primarily impact physical goods. They don't impact services. But if you look at the life of the average person, we spend a lot more money on services than physical goods. In fact, the wealthier you are, the bigger portion of your income goes into services and not physical goods. And physical goods usually have a much lower margins than services. Take an example of Apple. Apple sells iPhones and it also sells services. When it manufactures the iPhone, there are physical fixed costs that goes into the iPhone. But Apple also sells services such as Apple TV. So if they sell Apple TV subscription to an extra person, do you think it is going to cost them a lot more money? Of course not. It is probably not going to cost them any penny or whatsoever. But for every iPhone they sell, they have to incur a certain amount of cost. So physical products where tariffs are really impacting do have very small margins. So if you're bringing furniture from China, you're already selling those furnitures at a very small, tiny margins. The factory is making a very tiny margin. That margin could be 5% or 7%. And of course, if they sell you for free, then what's the point of having that factory to begin with? And the American importer who are bringing that good to the United States, they're also making, like their final profits is probably around 5%. And if they pay a 30% tax when they import it, do you think they're going to break even? No. And if you are going to have a loss, then why do that business in the first place? So they are forced to raise their prices, which is why that is causing inflation. But here is the argument that Kevin Hassett is making, that wages are growing way faster than inflation, so overall, these tariffs are forcing businesses to come back to the United States, so overall, the average American is a winner. But that's actually not true. I mean, from one side, it's true, because inflation last year has been around 2.7%, and wages have grown by about 3.4%. So if you just take these two numbers, it seems like wages are growing faster than inflation. But as they say, the devil is in the details. Inflation is calculated through CPI, and CPI does not take into account the increase in prices across everything in the economy. There are different ways to calculate that. Let me give you an example. Let's say the price of chicken increases by 10%. And then the CPI data, they might actually get chicken out of that equation and replace it with an inferior product that could be a substitute to chicken whose prices did not increase. And suddenly, instead of having a 10% increase in price, you are going to have a 0% increase in price. But if you take an increase in price across all sectors in the economy, that is something that we call a GDP deflator. And GDP deflator last year has been anything between 3.8% to 4.2%, which is way higher than wages. But if you take wages that increase in 3.4%, these are increase in wages across all sectors, across the entire economy. So overall, prices have increased much higher than wages. So the average American has actually seen a lower quality of life. The study also claims that the average American has paid an extra $1,000 last year because of these tariffs. And the wealthier you are, the more you rely on physical goods. So the tariffs primarily impacted like the bottom 50% of Americans. The wealthier you are, the less you are relying on physical goods, and a smaller portion of your income goes into physical goods. So tariffs did not have a huge impact on your day-to-day life. They did not have much impact on your budget. They did not take a bigger chunk of your income. And those increase in prices do not take into account the increase in asset prices. If you take house prices, asset prices, the stock market, then of course the gap is way bigger. Last year, the S&P 500 alone has grown by about 12%, while the average wage has increased by about 3.4%. So you can literally just look at the difference. In this Trump economy, Trump is really focused on the stock market, on growing the Dow, on growing the S&P 500. You can literally just hear him every single time bragging. Have you actually seen how much the S&P 500 has grown?
I mean, the only thing that's really going up big, it's called the stock market and your 401ks.
But the truth is that only top 10% of Americans primarily invest in the stock market. Like 90% of the entire stock market is owned by the top 10% of Americans. So yeah, top 10% of Americans are winning in this economy because they have investments. But what about the bottom 90%? In fact, the bottom 50% of Americans don't own a single stock. So when the stock market last year has grown by 12%, the bottom 50% did not profit from that, but they have paid a big chunk of their incomes have gone into paying the cost of tariffs. And this is just the first year of Trump presidency. We have another 3 more years to go. Whether Trump is going to introduce more tariffs or not, that's a completely different question. But the main reason why tariffs did not have like catastrophic huge impact is because there has been a lot of exceptions. So the United States has a free trade agreement with Mexico and Canada. So 84% to 86% of all the goods have not been impacted by tariffs. Even the tariffs that Trump has instantly imposed on China, which were over 100% in the first month, there has been exceptions on smartphones, computers, and electronics. And these are the type of products that the United States primarily imports from China. Did the United States started importing a lot less from China? Yes, the data on that is very clear. But there are other nations that are basically producing the exact same thing that China does, such as Vietnam. And since the average tariff on Vietnam is lower than China, basically these factories are just moving to Vietnam. The US economy is so advanced that so many things, manufacturing them in the US is basically unprofitable. Like you can't just make shoes in the United States as cheaply as you can make them in some southeastern countries where the cost of labor is insanely small. The United States is a very advanced economy. You can manufacture advanced technologies in the United States, and that has been happening. Like you have computer chips, you can build them in the United States, you can build Boeing planes in the United States, you can build advanced military equipments, you can build rockets that you send to space. Like SpaceX builds the rockets in the United States because these are very expensive, high technology things. There's so many things that are basically cheaper to import them. And if you impose a tax on them, which we call a tariff, it is going to raise prices. And the bottom 50 to 80% of Americans are primarily going to bear the cost. And that's why in this economy, it is so important that you instantly become an investor. You don't have time. Like prices rising on one side and the stock market is growing on the other side. And every single year or every single day, I would say that you're not in the stock market, you're just basically losing money because wages across all sectors last year is grown by 3.4%, as we have seen in the data released by the Federal Reserve. But the stock market has seen a 12% increase. And this is like the S&P 500. Just for the context that the historical average for the S&P 500 is 8 to 10%. So a growth of over 10% is considered like a really great growth, which is higher than the average. And this year is also most likely going to be the same thing. The average cost for the average American is going to rise, but the markets are going to grow. So if you're not in the market yet, if you're not investing yet, then join the Investing Academy because there is a step-by-step instructions on how you can actually start investing and buy your first stock.